interestingly, guess what? You can learn a lot from Jay-Z about marriage. 444, he goes really deep about his relationship with his wife. He alludes to infidelity, and we know that on her Lemonade album, she talked about Becky with the white hair. And guess what? He talks about Becky too. All right, so this is the thing. Let me get to the real deal. What you can learn from Jay Z's 444 related to marriage. Number one, got my note cards. Apologize. If you have done something wrong, be man enough, woman enough, just grown up enough. Be responsible, accountable for what you did, all right? And apologize. Say, I'm sorry. You know, that can go a long way than lying and minimizing and making your spouse think they're crazy or that they're like thinking this stuff up in their head. No. If you did something wrong, apologize. And that's exactly what he talks about in the lyrics of 444. So confess your wrongs to your spouse. Be accountable. Accept responsibilities. Number two, communicate. Open up. Be honest. He talks about, when she was on tour where he was trying to talk to her and how they talked for hours. You have to talk to your spouse. You can't shut down. You got to get out of your feelings. And let me tell you, the one who is hurt, the spouse who is really hurt, you have to be willing and open up yourself. Be willing to talk. Because the more you shut down and close them out, you won't get anywhere. You won't. So you have to communicate. Number three, grow up. Yeah, grow up. That's what God wants us to do. He wants us to grow up. He wants to stretch us. He wants us to have personal growth. And that's exactly what happened with Jay-Z. And that's what he talked about. He was talking about how she grew faster than him, that he wasn't mature. And in that, it's called emotional immature. He was emotionally immature, but he was saying that he was not mature. So you have to grow up into your emotions. And he talked about being emotionless. You gotta feel. You gotta feel, you gotta stay present. And even though you may be married to someone who is a boy in a man's body or a little girl in a woman's body, if you want to work it out, if that marriage is so important to you, you make the decision to stick and stay. That means you're staying until that person grows up. You're staying, you're making that commitment to stay in the marriage until they actually have emotional maturity. And no one is going to judge you for that. But if that's the decision you're making, understand that there's going to be some bumps in the road. It's going to be a lot of bumps in the road until that person grows up. So if you're the one who's doing the wrong things, you're out there in the streets, or you're lying, you're being manipulative, if you're the one that is sabotaging your marriage, grow up. Grow up, because you're the one that said that you wanted to be in it. You're the one said you wanted to be married. You said I do. So make up your mind. Grow up. All right? Number four, you have to become emotionally available. And that is what Jay-Z said. He said, I became emotionally available to you. You have to. So many spouses are disconnected. They're there, but they're not really there. They're emotionally unavailable. But you have to be available to your spouse emotionally. Because otherwise, your spouse is going to feel like they're in it all by themselves. They're going to feel lonely. And who wants to be in a marriage feeling lonely? Although some people stay in a marriage and they're lonely. So, how do you become emotionally available? This means you become emotionally naked and unashamed. You become vulnerable and transparent with your spouse, because you do that out of strength and courage, knowing that if I just submit myself and give myself to him or her, and all of my emotions, if I'm afraid, if I feel betrayed, if I'm hurt, whatever the emotion is, just present it to your spouse and let them help you. Let them help empower you and strengthen you. That's emotionally naked and unashamed. It's not about covering up. It's not about trying to act all big and bad when you're really scared. Like you don't care when you really do care. Emotionally available. All right. So listen, One thing that I like about Jay-Z and Beyonce is they keep their relationship private. They allowed you, meaning you, the public, us, into their marriage through their music. She talked about Becky with the white hair and Lemonade, and everybody started talking about, oh my God, Jay-Z cheated. Who is Becky with the white hair? It really doesn't even matter because guess what? He's with his wife. He's with his wife. You have to cover and protect your marriage. You cannot share everything with everybody that's going on. So when your husband has done something wrong or your wife has done something wrong, you don't run to the beauty salon or the barber shop or your mama, daddy, your best friend, your sister, and tell them everything about what your spouse has done to you. Because when you work it out, guess what? Everybody that you told all that stuff to, whining and crying, they remember and they hold on to that. Well, he did such and such, and she did such and such. It ain't gonna last that long. Cover and protect your marriage, okay? That's what you should do. So, 444. If you haven't listened to it, listen. It's a really good song. I think it's my favorite song. And my husband would be quite surprised because I don't buy rap music. I love old school rap. So I haven't even purchased the CD. I just listen to it online. But anyways, support Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Support them and just let's keep them in prayer. They've expanded their family. We're so happy for them. So let's keep them lifted up. All right? Thank you guys. See you later.